It's Pride Month. So I thought I'd tell my coming out story while making some rainbow soap. So if you don't already know, I left a polygamous cult known as the Order or Kingston Group. I was on the show Secrets of Polygamy. Anyways, so that will kind of tell you a little bit of my coming out story right there. It wasn't a normal situation to where you could come out safely as gay. And I am so thankful today. I live in a world where I can actually just be my authentic self and not live in fear for it. I was taught growing up that sexuality is a choice, so I just kind of assumed everybody was gonna make that choice, whatever it looked like. Also taught that if you chose to be gay, you would go to hell. However, things started going wonky in the group. I started finding about all these skeletons in the closet and basically found out I was in a cult and I was being lied to my whole life. I was 21 at this time, and I had realized that all of my friends had either gotten married by that age or had left the polygamous cult that I was in. There was a lot of things going on that made me question my faith at this time, and I didn't really know what to believe. So I prayed, and I was asking God. I says, I'm gonna make 2 profiles, one where I date girls and one where I date guys. So hopefully God sends the right people in my life, and I will just start dating until I know what I should do, because I already was not believing in the cult that I was in, which you're actually not supposed to be dating in that culture that I grew up in. It's kind of arranged marriage situation, and your first kiss is on your wedding day, supposed to be anyways. However, I go on this date with a guy, and I tell him, I ask him if he can teach me how to make out, because I'm ready to be corrupted, is what I'm thinking. Being told that the outside world only cares about sex, drugs, and their own pleasure, it didn't surprise me when this 19-year-old boy agreed to teach me how to make out. I ended up going back to his house. He lived with his grandma. I talked to his grandma about my situation, that I was questioning things, and she's let me know that some of the things they were doing was not normal. So I ended up being there for like 3 days. My mom was the only one that noticed I was gone for 3 days out of the cult. So when I got back home, I told her immediately that I was on a date with a guy. Her response was, you could date girls, right? I'm thinking, no, I didn't really super realize that. She's like, well, I'd like you to date a girl. And I was like, okay, Mom. So I immediately got to work. I started reading a book. I think it was called Lick by Lick, and it teaches you how to go down on a girl. I was treating it like a checklist. Like, I was always really close to my mom, so when she asked me to do something, I did it. And yeah, it was like a checklist. So I found a girl, I started dating her, and then, we hooked up. I did my thing with her. Anyways, maybe this is not a coming out story on that part, so let's move on. But basically after that, I was like, okay, so I did it, slept with a girl. Okay, Mom, done. I'm going back to dating guys now. And you could just see like her heart fall to the floor, basically. It broke her heart, but she didn't really say anything. She kept it to herself. Still within the culture, but she was pretty much the only one I told. I told maybe 2 of my sisters. Yeah, and I figured I'd never tell anyone else, so I'd only tell them because they're the only people I could trust. However, I get in a relationship with a boy, and he keeps breaking up with me because he's afraid my family's gonna come find him and kill him. And I thought he was nuts. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. It's fine. Ironically, when I leave the polygamous cult, I have to change my name because I'm afraid they're gonna come get me. So, I'm not afraid anymore, but anyways, sidetrack. So dealing with my first breakup, and I start going to gay clubs to, date and maybe find a new person. And I'm still in the culture, but I'm not going to church. I'm still in the cult. Basically only there doing my job. Maybe I'll make a video on what my job was, why I felt the need to stay because of that job. So I had some siblings ask me if I could take them to the dance, which a dance was the only real time that you could talk to the opposite sex. You would go dance with them and maybe you would get to know them and whatever, marry them. Or what they call come forward. Wow, we're getting so sidetracked. I'll just finish my coming out story real fast. Basically, these siblings, I tell them, no, I can't take you to the dance. I have to go to the gay club. I mean, I guess I could take you to the dance, but I can't take you home. So you have to find your own ride back because I'm going to the gay club. At this point, I'm just getting careless. I'm not hiding it as well as I was. It's kind of hard to live a double life at this point. I think I'm 22 at this point. 23 or 22. So anyways, my dad finds out because basically I'm telling people and they're telling him at this point. So he comes, talks to me. He says, I've known this for a while. He confronts me about it, and he finds out my mom knew, and he gets really upset at her. They kind of fight. I kind of have a lot to say to him at this point because I'm raising his kids, paying child support for his kids, all the things. Get into a pretty big heated argument. He tries to tell me that I need to leave his house or they'll call the cops. I tell him, no, I don't. Like, I live here. Call the cops. They'll look at my license. They say, oh, look, he lives here. And then look at her license. Oh, she lives here. I'm talking about my mom. And then they'll look at your license and be like, Mr. Bligamus, what are you doing here? Maybe they'll ask you to leave. So that night he leaves. I feel like, oh, I called his bluff. He's not the boss of me anyways. But he kind of is one of the cult leaders. So eventually, the next day, he moves all my stuff into a motel and brings me a key while I'm at work in front of people. And it's just like, because you're sleeping with guys, you can't be in the house and you can't be part of this. And all your stuff's in room 105. And don't worry about your mom and the kids. They got a new brother that's taking your place. But at the time, I wasn't ready to leave the cult, so I was like, I'm not going to leave just because you tell me to leave. You're just one man. He's like, well, if you want to be in the order, then you have to do all these things. And I guess there's some kind of conversion therapy. I don't know what it was, because I didn't end up going for it. I basically stuck around long enough to get my name changed and left. So yeah, I'd love to hear your coming out story. Hopefully it wasn't as dramatic as mine. Who was the first person you came out to? And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Always remember to speak kindly to yourself and know this, you're a goddamn unicorn. Thanks for watching.